Welcome everyone to this ClickCreate Curator Spotlight. This month we have Passage of Time, curated by batsoupyum. What was the inspiration for this curation's theme?
So the theme is time, and what Anna Maria, I think what she did very successfully is in throwing out that theme is all art experiences time in some way, shape, or form. It could be the piece itself that is both processes over time or is quote unquote timeless, or it could be the act of creating the piece itself, which requires sometimes movement, sometimes artistic creativity in time. And I think she wanted to capture just the essence of that theme in each of the 4 pieces that we'll be seeing in November. I really like the idea that she threw out and just trying to capture time as it relates to art. I feel very proud of where we ended up. It's funny, you get 4 artists who could not be more different from each other coming and coalescing around the same theme. It was really interesting to watch.
What narrative do you hope to convey with this curation?
Diversity. I think diversity amongst artists, diversity amongst styles, diversity in message. I know our theme is time, and the artists are very excited about sticking to that theme. And it's going to be really interesting to see what each of the 4 artists comes up with around that theme. And I think what we're going to see are 4 works that look nothing whatsoever like each other, completely different styles, completely different outputs. And it's just, to me, it's going to be really fun to watch how each of those 4 artists incorporate time in a way that speaks to their style.
What lasting impression do you hope to achieve with this curation?
The one lasting impression I hope that people get out of this curation is that all 4 of these artists gain even more exposure than they have already. I just think artists like this need more exposure. Like, we should all be doing our part. We have a lot of discussion in this community about what can we do? What can we as collectors do? So what can I do as a collector? What can I add back to the community? And stuff like this is it. So my hope is that the message around 4 fantastic artists who already have great exposure gains even more traction. If you love the artist and you love the work and you love ClickCreate, take the time just to explore a little bit more about who these people are, because they're all 4 of them are really, really interesting individuals.
Why is John Marco's style of art ideal to represent time?
The first artist is, his name is Gianmarco, and he is from Italy, he lives in Sicily, and aside from being a phenomenal artist, he's like one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. He specializes in 3D art. And the reason why I selected Gianmarco is he actually has received pretty wide acclaim for his art. He's been exhibited in very well-known museums. His work is just, I think, outstanding. He's such a good choice for this. He's I think, well known in the people who know him, and he's not necessarily as well known in sort of like the crypto art, digital art circles. So I thought he was a really good fit for something like this.
How is Rare Skrilla a conduit between art and meme culture?
The second person is Skrilla Ventura. He is extremely well-known artist in the meme community. He's a Pepe god. If you or any of these listeners ever have a question about anything historic related to Pepe, he is your go-to. He has created some of the best rare Pepes you'll ever see. And he's just such an interesting conduit, I think, between art and meme culture, The thing I love about him is he mixes music in with his art. I think he does such a good job of it, and it's completely different from Gianmarco and completely different from the other two artists. And I really wanted to highlight, especially in today's day and age where meme culture is just exploding, I really wanted to highlight him as sort of like that great bridge between art and meme culture.
How does Anna combine poetry and digital art to break new ground?
The third person is Ana Maria Caballero. She specializes in poetry, and what she's doing is really fascinating. She's taking poetry and using this medium to enhance it. What she's doing is taking a poem that she has written and taking it to the next level, either by speaking the poetry the way that it was meant to be spoken, and or creating a piece of art and incorporating that as well into the artistic piece itself and bundling that together as poetic art, but in a way that is very, very, very conducive to this medium. It's super interesting. It's one of the more groundbreaking sort of ways I've seen to take something that has traditionally been literature and on a piece of paper and taking that to another level. And she's doing a fantastic job of it. And I just really loved it. And I think having that kind of like spirit of innovation in this curation is so, I don't know, I think it'll be really fun to see what she comes up with.
How does Osinachi use non-traditional tools to communicate a message?
The last artist is Osinachi. She's a Nigerian-based artist, Nigerian-born artist, been around for a very long time, was recently featured by the Toledo Museum of Art. He's one of my favorite artists. I own quite a bit of his work. But one of the more fascinating things is that most of his work has been created using Microsoft Word. I just love that aspect of his art because it just shows that, like, it doesn't take the latest, greatest modeling tools on planet Earth to get your message across, to be an artist, to be a creator. He's just conveying his message very simply and very pointedly with a tool that no one else would ever use for artwork, and somehow he has brilliantly done it. So there's a very long-winded explanation of each of the artists and why I chose them, but I'm very proud of where we ended up.